Imagine this. You're driving home, it's late, maybe a little dark, and out of nowhere, a figure stumbles into the road. Your heart leaps into your throat. That unpredictable moment when a drunk pedestrian steps into traffic can turn a quiet drive into, well, a deadly crisis in seconds. It's a surprisingly common, yet incredibly dangerous roadside scenario that impacts everyone on the road. Today, we're taking a deep dive into your sources to unpack the unique dangers of intoxicated pedestrians, understand who bears what responsibility, and discover practical solutions for safer roads for all of us. We'll explore everything from individual choices to urban planning and even, cutting-edge technology.
And what's fascinating here is that this isn't just about assigning blame, right? It's about understanding the multifaceted nature of the problem, from the impaired individual's perspective to the broader community's role in prevention and response. Our sources really highlight how many different layers contribute to these situations, often in ways you might not immediately consider.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Our sources highlight that a drunk pedestrian can turn a quiet drive into a deadly crisis in seconds. What's truly eye-opening isn't just what drunk pedestrians do, but maybe why their brains compel them to make such dangerous choices. Can you elaborate on the specific cognitive distortions alcohol creates that lead to, say, ignoring a blaring horn or darting into traffic?
Absolutely. Beyond just general impairment, our sources highlight that alcohol specifically narrows an individual's attentional focus. So this isn't just poor judgment. It's a fundamental misprocessing of sensory input. They might be acutely aware of a direct path across the street, but completely filter out peripheral threats, even something as large as an oncoming vehicle. Yeah. And this leads to what looks like risky crossings, like between parked cars or maybe mid-block, completely ignoring traffic signals or making poor route choices, such as walking along highways. Simultaneously, there's decreased physical coordination and balance, manifesting as, stumbling, falling, or difficulty walking straight, which creates incredibly challenging situations for drivers trying to anticipate their movements.
So it's not just the physical stumbling then, but a profound shift in how they perceive and interact with the world around them. That unpredictability sounds like, well, the most terrifying aspect.
Exactly. This reduced awareness and reaction time means they just can't respond quickly to oncoming traffic or other hazards. And they're often inattentive, failing to notice vehicles or obstacles. This fuels that erratic and unpredictable behavior, sudden movements like darting into the road or unpredictable stops. Sometimes alcohol also lowers inhibitions, leading to aggressive or reckless actions like being confrontational or even engaging in vandalism, or just poor decision-making regarding personal safety, such as, sitting or lying in the street.
It's clear that drivers face unique challenges when encountering an impaired pedestrian. But equally critical, our sources illuminate the profound dangers intoxicated individuals pose to themselves. What are the primary risks to their own safety beyond the obvious traffic accident?
That's a vital point. The sources list numerous and severe risks. Yes, there's the increased risk of traffic accidents due to erratic behavior and misjudging speed and distance. But it goes further. Falls and physical injuries, a simple stumble can lead to severe injuries like fractures or head injuries. Then there's decreased awareness of surroundings and delayed reactions to less obvious hazards like uneven sidewalks or construction zones. Impaired judgment makes them alarmingly vulnerable to crime like theft or assault, and they have a reduced ability to defend themselves.
Right.
And what's often overlooked are risks like hyperthermia or exposure if they're dressed inappropriately or fall asleep outdoors, especially in colder climates.
And what about the legal fallout? I imagine there are significant legal implications for drunk pedestrians if they're found in public.
Oh, definitely. This is where it gets really interesting, actually, as the consequences can be severe. Many jurisdictions have public intoxication laws, which can lead to immediate arrests, citations, and fines.
Yeah.
They can also be charged with disorderly conduct for disruptive or dangerous behavior, or even traffic violations like jaywalking or obstructing traffic, incurring further fines. But crucially, in accidents, there's this concept of contributory negligence.
Wait, contributory negligence. What does that actually mean for the pedestrian?
It means if a drunk pedestrian is involved in an accident, they may be found partially or even fully liable for their own injuries.
Really?
Yeah. Think of it like this. If you're jaywalking and get hit, even if the driver was speeding, your own action of jaywalking could reduce or eliminate your ability to claim damages. When intoxication is involved, it adds a significant layer of legal responsibility to the pedestrian, potentially impacting their ability to receive compensation or even leading to civil lawsuits against them.
Against them, wow.
And these incidents can also lead to increased scrutiny from law enforcement, impacts on their criminal record, and even mandatory community service or rehabilitation programs.
Wow, so even if they're the one hit, they could essentially be blamed for their own injuries. That completely flips the script for how many people probably understand accident liability. Is this a common outcome or more of a rare legal nuance?
Well, our sources suggest it's becoming more common for courts to weigh the pedestrian's actions heavily, especially when intoxication is a factor. It speaks directly to their duty of care, you see. It's a critical insight for anyone navigating public spaces while impaired. Which brings us to a fundamental question. How do we design for human error? How do we empower individuals? And what roles do communities and technology play in creating safer pathways for everyone?
That's a powerful shift in perspective, designing for the reality of human behavior rather than just, expecting perfection. So what steps can individuals take for personal responsibility, and how do communities and urban planners fit in?
It's definitely a multifaceted approach. For personal responsibility, the best practices are proactive. Things like planning ahead for safe transportation, staying with friends for mutual support, setting limits on alcohol consumption, and avoiding distractions like phones.
Makes sense.
And then from a community and urban planning perspective, improving well-lit paths, having clear signage to safe crossings, installing safety barriers to dangerous areas, and creating designated walkways are really vital. Public awareness campaigns are also key, educating through media and partnering with venues.
That makes sense. We've talked about what pedestrians can do and what communities can implement. But for drivers, that moment of encountering an impaired pedestrian can still be sudden and, frankly, terrifying. So when that unpredictable situation arises, what's the immediate practical advice our sources offer drivers?
Right. The core principle is prioritizing safety, yours and theirs. Drivers should immediately slow down and be cautious, increase their following distance. Stay alert and focused, avoid distractions, and be prepared to stop. Use defensive driving techniques. Maybe a short, gentle horn beep if necessary to alert them, but definitely avoid high beams that can disorient.
Good point.
Maintain clear visibility with headlights. It's also important to communicate with other drivers using signals and hazard lights. When navigating around them, pass with care, allow a wide berth, and avoid sudden movements. And if the situation looks dangerous, report it to authorities. And if it's safe to do so, maybe consider offering assistance, but without confrontation.
So if we zoom out even further beyond just drivers and pedestrians themselves, what are the most impactful holistic strategies that communities and innovators are implementing to prevent these injuries? This isn't just about individual choices, is it?
Not at all. It really is about a collective effort and smart design. We need a strong focus on personal responsibility, yes, but equally crucial are community and urban planning initiatives. Things like better street lighting, safe walkways, and enhanced crosswalks with reflective materials. Public awareness campaigns through education programs and venue partnerships are essential. From a technological solutions standpoint, things like safety apps and wearable technology for visibility or fall detection are hugely impactful. For instance, smart crosswalks with embedded lights. Our sources describe systems that can detect an approaching pedestrian before they even step off the curb.
Oh, wow.
Activating warning lights in the road surface for drivers, or AI-equipped surveillance cameras that aren't just for monitoring, but can actually predict potential hazards based on movement patterns.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And of course, law enforcement and emergency services also play a critical role with increased patrols in high-risk areas and quick emergency response.
This concept of designing for human error really resonates. So what does this all mean for how we design our public spaces to be safer for all pedestrians, not just those who've been drinking?
Well, designing public spaces for safety is fundamental, and, it benefits everyone. This includes enhanced lighting everywhere, making people more visible, and increasing overall situational awareness. Clear and safe walkways are paramount. Think wide sidewalks, pedestrian-only zones, and barrier separation from vehicles where appropriate.
Right.
Improved crosswalks and intersections with high visibility markings, pedestrian islands, and raised crosswalks are vital for slowing traffic and making crossings safer. Traffic calming measures like speed bumps, narrower lanes, and roundabouts are also key to reducing vehicle speeds. Then there's accessible and intuitive signage using clear universal symbols, public transportation integration to provide safe alternatives, and incorporating green spaces and rest areas. And critically, technology and smart infrastructure, like those smart crosswalks and AI surveillance cameras we mentioned, they're potential game changers in creating proactive safety systems.
That's a truly holistic approach. Are there any specific programs or initiatives out there tackling this head-on that our sources highlight?
Yes, quite many actually. Educational campaigns are prevalent, like Walk Sober campaigns aimed at prevention, and Safe Routes to School, which, though for children, highlights the importance of safe pedestrian infrastructure for everyone. Infrastructure improvements are ongoing, with cities investing in safer crosswalks and traffic calming. Law enforcement and policy initiatives include increased patrols in high-risk areas, sobriety checkpoints which deter impaired driving and walking, and stricter alcohol control laws. Technological solutions are rapidly emerging. Mobile apps offering safe routes and ride-sharing integration, and wearables that can monitor intoxication levels.
Right, the tech angle again.
Exactly. And crucially, strong partnerships and collaborations are forming, especially between bars or restaurants offering safe ride programs and ride-sharing services. Community engagement through neighborhood watch programs and support services like temporary shelters also play a vital role. And finally, ongoing research and data collection are used to identify high-risk areas and refine interventions, making things smarter.
It sounds like law enforcement and emergency services have a huge role to play here. What are some of the less obvious ways they contribute to mitigating these incidents beyond just, responding after the fact?
Well, they're on the front lines, both proactively and reactively. Law enforcement focuses heavily on prevention and monitoring through regular patrols, especially in nightlife districts, and sobriety checkpoints, which act as deterrents. They intervene by guiding obviously impaired individuals to safety or enforcing public intoxication laws when necessary for public order.
Got it.
Emergency services, of course, provide immediate medical assistance via EMS and fire rescue, but they also often arrange safe transportation or temporary shelter. They implement harm reduction strategies. The key is their coordinated response, joint operations, communication, and cross-training ensure seamless support, often before a crisis escalates.
Technology seems to be a recurring, really impactful theme here. How else can tech specifically help address the problem of drunk pedestrians, beyond what we've already touched upon?
Oh, technology offers a wide range of incredibly innovative solutions now. Mobile apps, for instance, can provide navigation assistance for the safest pedestrian routes, not just the fastest. They have emergency contact features, seamless ride-sharing integration, and even alcohol consumption tracking to help individuals stay within their limits.
Interesting.
Wearable technology, for instance, isn't just about making you visible. Some devices now incorporate fall detection sensors that can automatically alert emergency services, or even experimental real-time BAC monitors that could trigger an alert to a designated contact if a user's alcohol level crosses a preset threshold and they start moving erratically. Imagine the preventative power there.
Yeah, that's pretty advanced.
Infrastructure and smart city solutions continue to evolve, like those smart crosswalks with embedded lights, intelligent traffic management systems that adapt to pedestrian presence, and AI surveillance cameras that can predict potential hazards based on movement patterns. Communication and alert systems, public announcement systems, emergency notifications can warn pedestrians of hazards. And underpinning much of this is data analytics and research, using incident data to predict high-risk areas and refine interventions, making our strategies more precise and effective over time.
This has been incredibly insightful, really unpacking the layers here. So for you, the individual listener, what are the absolute best practices for pedestrians to avoid walking drunk in the first place?
Yeah, it really boils down to being proactive and planning ahead. Arrange for a designated driver, use ride-sharing services, or plan your public transport route before you start drinking.
Right, the planning is key.
Definitely. Set up safe alternatives by pre-booking rides or knowing safe waiting areas. Make responsible choices, know your limits, stay hydrated, and never walk alone if you can possibly avoid it. Stick to well-lit areas where you're visible and feel safe. Use technology wisely with safety apps for emergency contacts or location sharing with friends. Know and avoid risks by recognizing unsafe conditions and understanding those legal implications we talked about. And crucially, seek assistance when needed. Don't hesitate to ask friends, family, or local services for help. Your safety really is paramount.
This deep dive has shown us that the issue of drunk pedestrians isn't simple at all. It's a complex weave of individual choices, community responsibility, urban design, and cutting-edge technology, all working together hopefully to create safer shared spaces.
Absolutely. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it highlights how a small individual decision like simply planning a ride home can have such a profound ripple effect on public safety. It could potentially prevent severe injuries, legal ramifications, and even save lives. Which raises, I think, an important question for all of us. In a world striving for smart cities and connected communities, how do we redefine what it means to be truly responsible for one another on our streets? Not just for ourselves, but really for those around us, too.
Please like, subscribe, and get notified.